Lifejackets personal flotation devices. We're going to have a look at Josh's presentation on this. He's done quite a good job of it, and he'll give us a good explanation of our requirements as far as life jackets are concerned.
So the first one I want to talk to you about is this one here. I wouldn't call it a life jacket personally. It makes a good fender or a seat as far as I'm concerned, but these things generally come with the boat. They cost on average $10. But at the end of the day, I mean, I wouldn't want to put this thing on. It's big, uncomfortable, it's ugly, and they're not actually a very good life jacket either. So I encourage you, when you buy the boat, to get rid of these and invest in something a little bit more appropriate. But this jacket here is also a Type 1 or a level 100 PFD. So it's got head and neck support. It's red, yellow, orange, so it's bright colours. You can be seen from a distance, and it's also approved by the Australian standards. But these things are just like a normal garment or a vest. You can put it on easily. It's relatively comfortable. There's certainly no issues with wearing these things. They're not too hot. They do cost a bit more, but at the end of the day, what sort of price do you put on your own safety? Now, if this cost $10,000 and my boat sank, I'll be thinking, geez, that's cheap. Right, so do not put a price on your life. But the Type 1 jackets are only required in open waters. So if you're going offshore, we need that head and neck support. Now, a lot of the bodies only ever go, only ever stay close to shore, and they're only in partially smooth or smooth waters. So for those operations, we're only required to carry the Type 2 PFD. Now, the Type 2 PFD is very similar to the Type 1 in that it's red, yellow or orange, so it's bright, can be seen from a distance. But you can see here there's no head or neck support. So they're a little bit easier to wear, a bit more freedom of movement, a bit more comfortable, but there's still plenty of buoyancy in these things that will keep you afloat for an extended period of time. Now, moving down the line further again, we have what's known as your level 50S or your Type 3 jacket. These tend to be used by water sports such as jet skis, water skiing, stuff like that. Now, the one and only downside to these is that often they're a bit smaller again, sometimes less buoyancy, but usually they're similar buoyancy, but the colour. These can be black, pink, blue, purple, any colour you like. These things probably are more appropriate for lakes, dams, areas like that. If you are going out into the bay here, I'd recommend, once again, a decent Type 2. But you need to have a jacket on board that's appropriate for everybody and their size, obviously. So if you have kids out in the boat, you're going to need one of these, a children's PFD. This is obviously a Type 1 or a level 100 PFD. It's got the head and neck support. Even better again, it's got the crutch strap down here. So you get your kid and they tend to slip out at times. So you do the crutch strap up. Now the thing I really like about those kids' jackets is that kids get a bit active at times and always in the one place. They might fall in the water, for example. If your kid goes in the water, they have this beautiful little handle. So you can pick the kid up, hang them out to dry. They're a beautiful jacket for the kids. Right. Now lastly, the adults. This one here is also a Type 1 or level 100 PFD. This one's actually got 150 newtons of buoyancy, and it's an inflatable jacket. So the idea being, if you go in the water, you would pull that little ripcord just there. This thing tears open. There's a yellow jacket that comes out, so it's, once again, it's bright, easy to see from a distance. But the beauty of these is that they are very easy to wear. Now, in certain other states, they've changed legislation so that you must wear a jacket at all times the boat is underway. If that happens in Queensland, personally, I'd be looking at buying one of these. They're very easy to wear, very comfortable, not cumbersome at all, not too hot, and definitely the way of the future. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the skipper's responsibilities in terms of where to put the life jackets and the crew's responsibilities as well. So they've changed the law back in 2012, basically stating that the skipper's responsible for the crew's awareness of where the jackets are. So when the police pull you up and they jump on board, they're not going to ask you, the skipper, where the jacket is. They're going to say to your crew, all right, where are the jackets? Now, if the crew aren't aware, you're in trouble as a skipper. So the best and easiest way we can identify or let the crew know where the jackets are is by one of these stickers. Okay, so legally it must have a white background with red lettering or a red background with white lettering, but either way, let your crew know in no uncertain terms where those jackets are. So I would do it in two ways, by firstly telling them, being quite open about and doing a safety briefing, same as when you jump on a plane, they do a safety briefing, and secondly, through use of that sticker. But the skipper is now responsible, legally responsible, to let the crew know where those important bits of equipment are.